The complete unawareness of normies is what really gets me. Um, I don't want to talk too much about that Anglo gay guy anymore, but that's part of the reason why it pissed me off to begin with. Was he's a total fucking normie. Normies are willfully ignorant. They're willfully ignorant of everything in the world, and they refuse to just acknowledge the fact that things are the way they are. They're always looking for whys instead of hows and ifs and whens, and to take advantage of that. Here's an example. Work. We all gotta work. We know work isn't fun. We know work will never be fun. It wouldn't be work if it was fun. But there are priorities. There are things that some of us can deal with that some of us can't. There are certain things that we are willing to give up in order to, have as a certainty within our paradigm. Equivalent exchange. For example, some people are okay with getting paid shit if they have an easy job. Some people aren't. Some people want lots of money because for them money equals success, money equals potential, money equals investment, money equals nice things. This is all well and good, but that doesn't work for everybody. The problem is normies can't just say this. Normies can't say some people have different needs and we should try to accommodate those different types of needs to the best of our ability. No. Normies choose to force down your throat a false narrative of, you just want to make everybody equally poor. That's all communism is everybody does the same amount of work for the same amount of wage. No, you dumb motherfucker. That's physically impossible. Now I understand that not everyone is going to be happy. Not everyone is going to feel like everything is great in the world and everything's accomplished. But if everybody can reasonably get something out of it, then why not do it? Or more importantly, on the more day-to-day reasonable scale, why don't you live your life in accordance to what you know works best for you? Which probably doesn't involve capitalism, because I goddamn guarantee you are not the bourgeois class that owns means of production and are an investor, and you're probably not that fucking important. You're probably just some dude that works, a mid-class job, tops. So fucking go with it. Go with what is important rather than these preconceived normie notions of you gotta do things a certain way or you'll get in trouble. Because that's always the second thing. You'll get in trouble. You'll get in trouble with the law. You'll get in trouble with your parents or with the church. And if all else fails, you'll get in trouble with God. Because at the end of the day, if they can't get you to do what they want to do through the barrel of a gun, through shaming tactics, through just putting you in a physical bubble, they'll rely on your faith in God. They'll tell you that God will be angry with you because a cosmic being that is beyond human comprehension would give a flying fuck what you're doing with your life. And when you look at it all like that, you start to really understand, number one, people are giant dicks. They love to gaslight each other. But number two, they're also enormously stupid dicks. They're stupid dicks because they do evil things that don't even benefit them. They're not all intricate sociopaths that get what they want out of life and murder anybody who steps out of line, or no, most people aren't that fucking competent. It's exhausting. It's exhausting and it's disheartening. I'm not even able to word just how fucking my cigar went out. I am not even able to word just how disappointed I am how a species that has lasted this long and is supposedly a sapient being capable of self-awareness can't come to terms with these simple facts. Another problem is that people don't look at jobs the way they look at relationships. This is actually something that has become a giant argument amongst me and my friends and my family and things like that for I'd say a couple months now. Well, I'll give you an example. When you are in a relationship, nobody tells you you need to stay in that relationship, at least not in the West. I mean, you might go somewhere else in the world and they're a little less willing to divorce and break up at the drop of a fucking hat. But what I mean to say is that, at least here in the West, in the first world, if you break up with somebody, nobody thinks twice about it. They'll just believe whatever bullshit you say about them. But if you leave your job, you are a bad person because you're a quitter, you're lazy, you just don't want to do the work. It isn't about what your priorities are. You know, if a woman leaves me because I'm not willing to get married, or I don't have a really good job and I make shit money, or she just doesn't feel like I'd make a good father, or blah blah blah. It could be a slew of reasons. It could be literally nothing at all. She could just not like my character as much as she thought she did, or not like my appearance as much anymore, or anything, or just doesn't feel like it. It really, really, really doesn't matter. Nobody would question it. But if you say the same shit for a job, or even something more redeemable, something more justified, which you will have to, because nobody wants to just pick up and leave a job because they need it to survive. Everybody's got every excuse in the world for why it's your fault and why you're immature and da da da. For example, if I left my job tomorrow, and I can think of a few goddamn reasons why I should, people will be like, what are you gonna do about the future? What are you gonna do to fucking, pay your bills and take care of your family and I'll figure something out, won't I? I mean, I would guess I would have to. Or you know what? Maybe I don't have to. Maybe I could just be fucking homeless. And maybe I could. But that's what they're worried about. See, they're worried that they maybe vaguely somewhere down the road might have to pay 50 cents in taxes so that I don't die in the street from being a homeless man. And I might have to go to a homeless shelter. I might have to get food stamps. I might have to get some kind of program to help me find a new job. There might actually have to be some kind of social democracy in place so that I'm not just some murder hobo out rampaging in the streets with my balls dangling out. What a tragedy that they might have to actually pay taxes and conform to a fucking functioning society, which they're gonna do anyway. But for something positive to come out of that, for new possibilities, and for me to have the freedom of choice to leave my shitty job and maybe pursue a job that is probably equally as shitty, but at least shitty on my terms. No, we should all be as miserable as possible. We should all be working shit jobs that we just absolutely hate and are disgusted with. But God forbid we should apply the same standard to relationships. If you're even remotely unhappy in a relationship, you need to kick that bitch to the curb. Let me rephrase that. You should kick that male bitch to the curb, because if you're a woman, you're strong and independent. But if you're a man, everything you do is absolutely wrong. That's the way Western society is. And feminists will argue that I'm exaggerating, that women have it so bad in the world, and trust me, they do. I'm not going to deny that. In most of the world, there are children right now, maybe 10 years old, in brothels, chained to a bed and fucked to death. But that's not America. That's not Canada. That's not Australia. That's not Sweden. That's not Norway. That's not Britain. That's not France. That's not Germany. That is not anywhere where they are privileged little fucking cunts, where they have the vast majority of the wealth in the world. And under those countries, under those standards, women tend to have it easier. But this isn't even the tip of the iceberg. It's not a matter of whether men or women have it easier. I'm talking about something more woke than that. We're going to need the woke meme here. You all are fucking talking about men versus women. I'm talking about us versus normies. I'm talking about us versus moderators. Day-to-day shit where we can't live our lives because some motherfucker wants to get in the way.